Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Marianas Coffee.
Good evening, half a day and Taro Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Dan Shore. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A police officer accused of unlawful use of a dangerous weapon receives a bail modification, and a car thief busted by a surveillance camera is caught on the run. Also tonight, Palau and Saipan share a similar challenges, a discussion with their ex and possibly future president. And in sports, the Micro Cup returns to Saipan with a team from the Marshall Islands. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
I love Marianas Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
We can't wait to welcome you back. Beginning October 16th, the doors of Miyako will reopen. Alongside the tranquil ocean and vibrant gardens inside the former Hyatt, Miyako will offer 2 weekday seatings for a special Japanese lunch buffet. Make your reservations Monday through Friday by calling 670-488-1000 and indulge in authentic dishes, including fresh, never frozen salmon and tuna. Make new memories at an old favorite. Make it special. Make it Miyako.
2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. 2 chicken patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. 2 all beef patties, 2 chicken patties, lettuce, 2 chicken patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. 2 delicious patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
It's not a Big Mac. It's the Chicken Big Mac. Get it while you can.
In court news, a police officer arrested for pointing a gun at a suspect in the back of a patrol car has been released on bail under the supervision of his mother.
28-year-old Troy Anthony Manahani, a law enforcement officer, was arrested for assault with a dangerous weapon and disturbing the peace. Police say Manahani unholstered his police-issued firearm and pointed it at a suspect while responding to a domestic abuse incident that was reported in Susupi on January of this year. After attempting to elude the officers during a domestic abuse stop, the accuser claims that after Officer Manahani had him safely in the back of his police vehicle, Manahani pointed his gun at him, causing him to fear for his life. The officer's partner later corroborated the accuser's story. The internal investigation was a long one. 10 months later, a warrant was issued for the officer's arrest. Today, Manahani appeared in front of Judge Joseph Camacho in Superior Court and had his bail modified to allow him to be released to a third-party custodian. His mother pledged to take responsibility for the officer as he is released from custody. Currently, Manahani is suspended from DPS. Bond is set at $10,000. A preliminary hearing is set for October 30.
Never leave your car running with the key still in it. A woman learned this lesson the hard way after visiting a store in San Vicente. Alistair Augustino arrived in court today to face the charges of theft of a vehicle, reckless driving, and driving under the influence. On the evening of October 13, a woman entered a store in San Vicente, leaving the car running. The alleged perpetrator saw the opportunity to take the car, not knowing that surveillance cameras were pointed in his direction. The police then put out an APB based on the surveillance photo. According to police reports, a citizen witnessed the report and called the police, who arrived and arrested the now accused Augustino. The accused then claimed to have been intoxicated at the time of the theft and that he didn't want to have to walk home. Bail has been set for $10,000 and a preliminary hearing will be on October 24. A local man arrested for robbing a pregnant woman just days away from delivering listens to an officer testify against him this morning.
41-year-old Thomas Daniel Reiner appeared in front of Judge Joseph Camacho in Superior Court this morning at a preliminary hearing. On October 4th, the victim, a pregnant woman about to undergo an emergency C-section, told police that a man yanked her wallet from her hand and fled into the jungle with another male individual shortly after she arrived to her home in Canat Tabla. She told police her wallet contained her ID and food stamps worth $125. Police say during an investigation, the victim identified Reiner in a photo lineup as the alleged man who stole her wallet and fled. In court today, the CNMI brought up Lieutenant Catherine Pangilinan as a witness who was cross-examined by both parties. Pangilinan says 2 photo lineups were presented to the victim at different stages of the investigation, one with and one without Reiner. Judge Camacho found probable cause and Reiner was remanded in DOC custody. Bail is set at $10,000, arraignment set for October 21st.
On Saturday night in Susupe, the Palauan community held a 30th anniversary celebration of its sovereignty. Special invitations were proffered to several of its esteemed political candidates. On November 5th, 2 prominent political figures who also happen to be brothers-in-law will face off before the voting public for a second time. The sitting incumbent, Sarang Whips Jr., was busy governing in Palau, while challenger, 2-time ex-president Tommy Remengesau Jr. visited constituents in Saipan. Why would an ex-president want to re-enter the world of politics at an age when retirement might be a gentler decision?
It's called to duty. It's by tradition, you have to sacrifice your quality time with your family. You sometimes sacrifice, just family quality time in order to do something good for the good of the public. So we've been called to come back. I would have rather stayed retired, but as you know, there are pressing issues for Palau, whether it's health, whether it's education, whether it's cost of living, whether it's drugs. These are the issues of the day that have prompted many people. I also am running because over 6,000 people signed the petition asking me to come back. So that's a sizable part of the voting population that I have to listen to their.
Geopolitics are a big issue. Palau is one of just 12 countries to diplomatically recognize Taiwan, having done so since 1999. In the meantime, China has become the country's biggest investor and is expected to continue an aggressive push for supremacy in the Pacific. Whoever leads Palau could have some choices to make in the near future.
We have been friends with Taiwan since 2001, so I believe this is the 25th anniversary of that friendship, and we continue to believe in the shared values of democracy, freedom, and respect for human rights. And those are very important aspects of a friendship and a partnership that is based on values.
Palau has been in the forefront of international climate change discussions in the United Nations and beyond.
The biggest threat really for not only Palau but for all of us in the Pacific is not war or it's climate change, global warming. And the real threat right now is in the rising sea level. already we have neighborhoods in Palau where the high tide, when it comes in, it gets into people's living rooms. And so they had to relocate to higher grounds. Or they have to rebuild their home and make them higher, elevate their houses. So people don't realize that, but it's happening not just in Palau, but in Tarawa, the South Pacific, Marshall Islands. It's a real threat. Global warming is also affecting the reefs. There's a lot of bleaching that's happening on the reef as we speak. And of course, if you bleach the reef, that's the population of fish that's going to be affected also. So it's more than just a scientific fact. It's also happening already.
Moses Uladong is a former lawyer, a journalist, a traditional chief, and a television host who considered running for president but is now campaigning for a position in the Palauan Senate.
Palau is going through a very drastic change. So this election is going to be a very consequential election. There are things that we need to do. In terms of laws, we need to redo our laws because our laws are from the U.S. Trust Territory.
The Trust Territories of the Pacific Islands were created after World War II, establishing a bilateral financial and military relationship with the United States. After its independence in 1994, many of Palau's laws are still unaltered.
We regained our sovereignty in 1994, and so we need to make sure that we keep our culture, we maintain our values, and make sure that we have control of our destiny.
Palau, like Saipan, like New York, like everywhere within a range of a cell tower, is threatened by cultural disassociation.
Especially with the young generation, and nowadays, they're very different. The world is going through change with this TikTok, with the technology. Even our children, we're kind of losing control of them, especially they'll rather play with their cell phone than listen to the elders and listen to us and talking about values, our history, our culture. At least up to now, we still have that sense of being Palau. And we know who we are, we know our identity, where we came from, but our kids don't. So we need to really do things to make sure that we participate in the modernization of our society and our country, but at the same time we keep those basic values that are important for us as a people.
Coming up, trees beautify our island, but not nearly as much as Miss Earth does. And don't be queasy, spaying and neutering has never been so easy.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
If you're a person with a disability in the CNMI, you have certain rights that protect your ability to vote. This video contains some information about your rights and some resources available to you in protecting those rights.
What are some of your voting rights as a person with a disability? You have the right to vote regardless of your disability. You have the right to cast your vote privately without disclosing your vote to anyone. But you also have the right to ask for assistance as needed. Polling place workers should be ready and available to assist and accommodate your needs. CNMI law requires that you must be registered to vote in the CNMI. You can vote if you are a citizen or national of the United States, at least 18 years of age on the date of the election, domiciled in the CNMI, a resident of the CNMI, and have resided in the Commonwealth for 120 days, are not serving a sentence for a felony, have not been declared by the court of unsound mind, and have registered to vote at least 60 days before the election.
As a voter with a disability, you have the right to vote in an accessible voting place. That means you can get from your car through the door to cast your ballot without physical barriers or impediments.
Under the CNMI law, any voter who needs help in casting a ballot is entitled to request for assistance. A poll supervisor or the executive director of the Commonwealth Election Commission can provide assistance at the polling place, or you can exercise your right to curbside vote. However, whether you vote at curbside or not is your choice. No poll worker can force you to vote curbside. If you are unable to mark your ballot, you may select up to 2 people to help you cast your vote, except that they cannot be your employer or your employer's agent.
The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 requires public entities to provide progress access, reasonable modification of policy, auxiliary aids and service where necessary to afford an individual with a disability an equal opportunity to participate in and enjoy the benefits of the services, program or activity being conducted by the public entity.
Our primary goal is to have 100% participation of eligible voters in all elections, 100% polling place accessibility, and options for all voters who seek independent and private voting. If you want to know more about your voting rights, please contact the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated at 670-235-7273 or 74, or you can simply visit our website at www.nmpasi.org.
This video was brought to you by the Administration for Community Living and does not necessarily reflect their official views.
The king is back like prodigal. I gave him time, it's been too long. Politic, if I want it, I'ma get mine. Never fake the funk, can't perform for your empire. Snatch him out the throne, make them all fall in line. I let the clock tick, count down, cause I'm on the headline, the deadline. I'm ahead time, the rare kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, master minor. Big time.
Premium office space is available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Features include dedicated parking, fast internet, backup power, good water, and natural light throughout to go along with the very best views on Saipan. So don't settle for space when you can get peace and peace of mind. Call Hermosa Vista today at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
Attention, pet owners. Thanks to the Banfield Foundation's support, the Saipan Humane Society will be hosting a spay and neuter clinic for the next 10 days at their Garapan location near the Cristo Rey Church. There are about 21,000 stray dogs on Saipan, and the shelter dog population far surpasses the care capacity. According to the Animal Humane Society, spaying and neutering your dogs and cats can improve their health and wellness, and because they are very active breeders, this procedure can help limit the amount of unattended animals on the island. The Saipan Humane Society and Banfield Foundation want you to know that if financial issues are a barrier for you, please reach out to the clinic for assistance. Call 670-233-7387 or go to saipanhumanesociety.org to make an appointment. Pageantry is not just about beauty, it's also about advocacy for the environment and solutions gearing towards a better future. Let's take a look.
Heavenly Divine Pangilinan was crowned Miss Northern Marianas Earth 2024 on September 6th. Pangilinan says to host a pageant, there needs to be a minimum of 8 contestants, and this year there were only 4. She underwent 2 screenings and an interview and was appointed the position.
To be Miss Earth, you're advocating for not just, pageants and fashion. You're advocating for the environment where you're from. It's beauty for a cause. So you are dabbling into fashion and looks, but you are using it to help the environment, using your platform to encourage sustainability in, where your land is or your house, your country.
Advocacy can change for previous and future Miss Earth representatives. Pangilinan says during her reign, she wants to focus on the youth.
Mine is to teach the children and kind of start knowledge young, because it's a little bit harder to change the mindset of the older people that have been, already established their lives and their lifestyle here. So I want to encourage the younger children and educate them on sustainability, living green, and how much it can benefit the world and everyday lives.
Pangilinan already has plans for the future with the future generation in mind.
This is my chance to expose our islands and represent us. And then once I come back, I'll be trying to implement a new project for PSS. I want to try to encourage the public schools to hold recycling. So I'm hoping that will work out.
Pangilinan will be representing the CNMI in an international pageant hosted in the Philippines on November 9th. She has been applying for this position for a few years now.
It's so funny because at 16 and 17, I had no idea what it was really like. I just knew that I think I would enjoy it. And now at 18, it's so much more than what I thought it would be. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of thought that goes into things. You have to really implement and be determined to put those things to real life, whatever you envision. So it's amazing and it's nice. And I think it's my first real big challenge in my life, because I've never really been in a huge competition. This is my first time, and so I think I'm learning a lot, and I'm really happy and excited about it. A little bit nervous, but mostly happy to represent where I come from.
October is Arbor Month, and there is much to know about the preservation of our island plant life. With shopping just a click and credit card away, there is a real risk that unwanted seeds being brought into our island ecosystem could hurt our local plants. CNMI Forestry explains. CNMI Forestry, a division of the Department of Lands and Natural Resources, focuses its efforts on responsible land and forest stewardship.
It is a big problem, I'm very thankful for Customs and Biosecurity and all the other agencies that work together, because this Amazon thing where I could go in and bring in for example, a purple flame tree, that's no. You don't want something that's not welcome to our island, It's like a pest, yeah? Knock on wood, we don't have the rhinoceros beetle, right? Not like Guam and Rhoda. What if that thing comes into our islands? What if? But with the help of the biosecurity team, my hats is off to them. They work very hard to make sure that those pests or any seeds that are not in our state, they will not allow it to pass the border.
A new rivalry is in the making. The Marshall Island paddlers sent out a gentle warning signal prior to Friday's Micro Cup.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Motivation isn't always easy to come by. Thankfully, there's one place that continues to ignite my willpower. This one place provides me with the knowledge and support I need to grow, so I can continue to become a better version of myself. This is where I discovered my passion, where I achieved successes that made me proud. It's home to where I improved my performance, seeing the opportunity in every challenge. And when doubt creeps inside and I think about giving up, I remember the heroes who've also called this place home. And just like them, I know that every last rep is always a beginning. No matter how hard it gets, nothing can stop me. I will always come back stronger because I'm part of a legacy.
Buenas sports fans.
Buenas sports fans. Starting this Friday, our Sakura Halstead will be competing in the Micronesia Cup VAA event against Guam and the Marshall Islands. And in a prelude to that competition, we meet visiting competitors and their local hosts from the Marshall Islands. The Marshall Islands consists of 5 islands and 29 coral atolls in the Micronesian region of the Pacific, with a population of around 41,000 people. Though an island people with a long history of open water canoe mastery, they are relatively new to VAA paddle racing. Patrick Reeder has been coaching the Marshallese team for only 7 months.
Oh, you know, we're brand new. We just started. We got our first set of boats donated to us basically by New Zealand, and you know, people got on the boat with paddles, and now we are just learning how to use it, and we're ready to figure out where we're at competitively.
He says 90% of his team are first-time competitors.
It's I think they're just happy that it's they're here to compete. They want to know where they're at. They want to race against other people and, you know, figure it out, basically. You know, they have no idea what's coming. They're just excited to be here.
Henry from the Marshalls is a first-time competitor.
We're ready to perform what we've learned so far. We've been putting in the work, and we're excited. We're excited for this event coming up, and we hope to continue and show out the effort we've put in. It's a pleasure to be here. We're looking forward to meeting everyone and create this legacy for the first time, the RMI paddlers, and spread the paddling more aware in the Micronesia.
Good morning. My name is Keone Katil. I'm with the RMI paddling team. I am 24 years of age, 24 years young.
Keone believes the key to victory in this competition is...
It's consistency, man. Consistency, one step at a time. Everything else comes from there. So we just take it step by step, get all the basics down. We'll be good, hopefully.
Good morning. Hafade, Yahweh. My name is Isabel Kramer Spiritu. I came with the Module Canoe Paddling Club. We flew all the way from the Marshall Islands for our first competition, our first canoe competition, and we are so blessed to be here. Thank you to everyone who helped supported us, and I'm grateful that I get to come here and enjoy and travel with our families. And special thank you to Jerry Tan for sponsoring us rooms to stay, and we hope to enjoy the races. Meeting family. We have lots of families here. I know there's a good amount of Marshallese community that they reached out and they said that they would like to meet us and welcome us.
Tian and Ida are both Marshallese living here on Saipan. They are here to welcome the paddling team.
We love it here. We've been here for a long time, the community here, especially the Marshallese living here. They blended into the CNMI, the Chamorro and Carolinian cultures, and where most of us are married to Chamorros, and so we're raising our kids half Chamorros, half Marshallese. So we love the culture. We love the blend of our culture with the Chamorro culture.
They bring a message of welcome to the competitors, but...
So I'm one of the paddlers from the CNMI, so I'm excited to compete against my nieces and nephews from the Marshall Islands, and I just want to wish them luck, Jaraman, Hafide, and welcome, Yakwe.
Patrick, the coach, is happy to meet his competition, but...
Our only mindset is to come here and compete, right? Obviously, we're at a new place. Most of us is a new place, so we're also excited to sightsee a little bit. But I've informed everyone that we're here to do business first, and after that, we'll be able to see whatever, do whatever we want. Yeah.
Micro Games Va'a Paddling Competition, Friday through Sunday by Crown Plaza, Garapan.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Here's the weather. The fair weather continues, NMI. Tonight, only partly cloudy with a 20% chance of isolated showers with lows around 78 degrees. Tomorrow will continue being mostly sunny with only a 20% chance of showers, allowing the probability for the full moon to shine brightly over our islands. Highs of 87 and lows of 78. Sun has set tonight at 5:56 p.m. just in time for our broadcast, and you will have many hours to look up into a relatively clear sky to see what is called a waxing gibbous moon, the phase of lunar illumination just before the moon is full, or as some of us like to call it, dessert, the phase of a meal just before we are full. The moon will set, the sun will rise again tomorrow morning at 6:09 a.m. And I will see you refreshed by moonlight in the water or on the land. Well, that's news, sports, and weather, Saipan. Sakura is racing in the Micro Cup Games, so please go and support her, and she will be back with us this coming Friday.